So, main guys, get a winner to start the week. Phillies plus 110, 2 units. Started off great 8-1 lead and made a sweat for it down the stretch, but ended up pulling it out. So, get a good way to start the week with the winner there. Like we said yesterday, there is one NFL bet out currently to VIP members. I know we had some questions yesterday going about not being able to see the bet yet for some of our members. Just a reminder to all our How to Beat the Bookie members out there. VIP members will get NFL and NBA bets as soon as they get made. NFL can be up to 7 days in advance. NBA will be 40 hours in advance. Otherwise, previews for NFL week 1 will be fully posted on Friday. The Thursday night game will get up today. So usually after the Thursday night game, that is when the rest of the Sunday games come up. But lines do move ahead of the week. That is part of the VIP perks, is getting in on those lines before they move. John, pretty good day to start the week. And got a nice little baseball card going today, but not a lot of sides we're looking at right now. We'll see if something opens up for us today. Yesterday, though, a lot of spots we could have gotten cooked on. Ended up staying away and didn't get beat up yesterday. It could have been a really bad day for us.
I'm calling yesterday a great day, and the guys might be, what great day. We won one game. Sometimes the best bets are the bets you don't make. And so we're just going to do a quick little review. Look, usually we're on the sharp side, guys. Once in a while, we'll fight them. And if you're How to Beat the Bookie member, you know we were fighting them on the Padres, as we've been for basically the last month. In my preview, I wrote that the Phillies opened as a minus 110 favorite on the overnight. The Sharps, who just been betting the Padres every day, insisted on betting them and making the Padres a minus 120 favorite at game time. And they did this, and I said, even with the over the hill on the hill. I don't think he lasted 2 innings, if I've got that correct. Phillies got jumped out to an 8-1 lead, but in true fashion, had him give us a little bit of a sweat there in the 9th inning.
Yep.
We went against the Sharps in that game, and we take the W. We stayed off San Fran. Sharps were on San Fran, as they are again today, and we'll stay off, and we'll tell you why. So we stayed off San Fran yesterday. They got shut out. Sharps were on Cleveland. They buried the Guardians yesterday. And just to tell you give you a clue of Ben's line-making skills, Ben, like the Guardians also, he's got a great read. It's getting better and better every day. Knew the Sharps would be on it. So, again, Ben had the right side. We consider that the right side unless we're going against the team. So he had the right number on the game. So that game went off a pick-em game. So they buried the Guardians. That was another loser. They did have a winner with the Red Sox. That's a series that the Rays have dominated. I believe it was 13 straight in Tampa before last night. We were Rays or nobody. Yandy Diaz not in the lineup last night. We stay off the game. Saves us a bet there. So, yes, 1-for-1, 1-2-unit banger. But it could have been an ugly day yesterday. So I'm feeling real strong. Go to today. Again, quality, not quantity. When we see an edge, we'll jump on it. And that's why I tell you guys all the time. If you're about to join up for the NFL, do not anticipate. I'm going to give you a bet every Thursday night, every Sunday night, every Monday night, every 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock game. It's not going to happen. We're going to bet when we have an edge. We saw an edge first thing yesterday. We got that bet out. And again, guys, VIP guys get bets as soon as we make them, regardless of the sport, baseball, NBA, NFL. When we get our posts up, our previews up, if we get them posted, that's when everybody else will come to see them. We're going to work on something, but I got to see how it works. We want everybody to be a VIP member. We're just trying to work out the logistics. We'll see how we got to do it, because that is the whole thing is beating the line, is beating the number. So if you guys are not VIP members, you're going to wait 4 or 5 days for a bet. That's not going to work out well for you, especially in NBA. NBA, if you're not jumping on the games as soon as I send them out, you're a dinosaur. So we're going to have to try and work on some with the VIP. Anyway, great day for me yesterday. Phillies posted W, get us off on the right foot after a tough week, the prior week. We'll pick out some spots. We got some leans we're looking at. Haven't made an official bet yet. Let's run it down, Ben.
Yep, let's go ahead and run through it. We have Brewers at Pittsburgh going here. This NL Central matchup. Pirates actually get it done last night. Brewers have won 7 of the 11 meetings so far this season. Brewers just 2-4 now, their last 6. Pirates getting red hot out of nowhere, 6-1 their last 7, playing good ball currently. Woodruff versus Jackson. Woodruff definitely gets the pitching edge here, coming off a pair of quality starts, 19 Ks, 4 walks. Really good numbers against the Pirates. 2-0, 2.86, and 5 starts versus them last year. Had a solid outing, 2 runs in 5 innings earlier this month. Then you have Jackson going 1-1, 2.92 in last 6 outings. He's been pitching pretty decent, but not going too far in games. Last time out, though, against Kansas City, farthest there, 1 run in 5 2/3 against the Royals. This is just tough to come back with the Pirates, but it would have to be them or nobody. I mean, even with the pitching edge there to Woodruff, Pirates hot right now, 7-1, or 6-1 their last 7. Then you have Woodruff, who's a bit worse on the road. Yes, he has good numbers against Pittsburgh. Brewers need these games to continue pulling away from the Cubbies. Could only be Pittsburgh in this game, but feels like we missed a wedding yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Missed it yesterday. But I like what I see from this kid Jackson since getting acquired from the Dodgers. 6 outings this month, 3 starts, using him as a spot starter. Pitched a decent game his last time out, got the win. That was at Kansas City. But Brewers, since that 9-game winning streak, just 2-4, scoring 3.3 runs a game and hitting only 228. Back to the battingless Brewers that they were earlier before that streak. So you get Pirates are the streaking team now. The line is an overlay with Woodruff pitching. It would be Pittsburgh and nobody. McCutchen left the game last night. We'll wait to see lineups and where this game goes. But it's home dog or nobody. And again, that doesn't mean I'm on the Pirates. It's that way or no one.
Then we had Dodgers at the Marlins. Dodgers have now lost 3-4 to Atlanta. Before that, absolutely red hot. Then you have this Marlins team coming in who sweeps the Nationals. They were ice cold. That gets them going. So you have Miami beating up on a team they own, one of the bottom teams. You have Dodgers getting beat up by the best team in baseball. And we'll see if things come back to norm here in this matchup. Kershaw versus Luzardo. Kershaw, he's had 4 starts since returning. One of them got cut short there with the one in Cleveland where he just went 2 innings with the rain delay. The other 3, he goes 5 innings, allows 1 run in each, has not yet had a quality start since coming back, and don't know if this is when they're going to push. Yeah, they have comfortable leading the division. They just want him feeling strong heading into October. Does have our last start against Miami was in 21, was roughed up for 5 runs there. Bit worse on the road, but still 3.13 ERA getting it done. Then Luzardo, he was going brutal to start August. Last 2 times out, though, 12 shutout innings, 15 Ks, 3 walks. Had a quality start versus LA last year, 1 run in 6 1/3. Dodgers have had some success in this matchup. They took 2 of 3 earlier this year. They won 6 of 7 last year, 3 of 4 at Miami. Lean here ever so slightly to the Marlins. I mean, Luzardo's going really good last couple of starts, and obviously not necessarily a letdown because the Dodgers didn't get it done against Atlanta, but still going to be a letdown from that series. I mean, a home series against the Braves, playoff-like atmosphere. Now you go on the road and you go play Miami. A little bit of different feel there. Marlins still need this game more. Luzardo coming off a couple solid starts. We're looking at Marlins or nobody here. I just need more on the number.
Yeah, okay. So before we talk about this specific game, let's get into the Dodgers' state of mind in general. Look, pitching problems all year with injuries. Buehler starts the year on the IL. Now he just started making a couple of rehab starts, 1 and 2 inning starts. Then you lose Gonsolin. He's done. He won't be back till next year. Now you got Urias. He's got a domestic violence problem. This is getting ugly for the Dodgers when old man Kershaw is your ace and he's your only solid pitcher at this point. This is a problem. So, yeah, they're going to be extra careful with him as they've been in his starts coming back. And, yes, a definite laid-out spot. Their series was against the Braves. They win that last game, but dropped 3 of 4, all of a sudden scoring just 3.75 runs per game in that series. Dodgers are 14 games ahead of in the NL West. They're not getting caught. They're not catching Atlanta. They're in no man's land. They're playing out the string now. They'll be the number 2 seed in the National League. These games aren't important to them. These are do-or-die games for the wild card looking Miami Marlins, a half a game out of that final wild card. So with that being said, you've got Max Muncy, questionable for the Dodgers. Soler, who leads Marlins with 35 homers, 71 RBIs. He missed the entire Nat series. He's questionable again for the Marlins. The Sharps have buried this game. The overnight could have took plus 147 with Miami. That game right now down to about plus 128. It's Marlins and nobody. Again, we'll look for the lineups and where this line goes.
Then we have Mets at Washington, Quintana versus Corbin. A couple of guys been going pretty solid. Quintana really solid. 6 of his last 7 starts, quality starts, coming off 6 shutout innings versus Texas. Corbin roughed up his last time out. Prior to that, a pair of quality starts. As far as the season series, Mets have won 6 of the 11 meetings. And this is a Nats team that was playing really good baseball. You guys know we were backing them day in, day out there for a solid stretch. And then they come and they just get abused there by the Marlins. They lose all 4 in the series there, and struggling playing baseball right now. Bats went cold, hitting 218. Sorry, Quintana gets the pitching edge. Mets, I mean, obviously they're out of it still. This is a slightest ever so slightly lean to the home dog here in Washington. Maybe they turn things around. Marlins are the ones who really own them, so maybe take that getting swept by a grain of salt. But no interest here with the Nats. They went from red hot to ice cold, and don't want to try and see in hopes to turn things back around. No interest in this game.
Yeah, both teams out of it, as Ben said, obviously. The Mets are 7.5 games out. So just to give you a frame of mind, Mets are 7.5 out. Pirates are 7 out of the final wild card spot. Pirates are 7 games out, and the Padres are 6.5 games out. But yet everybody talks about the Padres like they still have a shot. So just want to give you a frame of reference there. Both teams out of it. Pair of lefties here. These are veteran lefties going at it, but different directions. Corbin had a couple of nice starts. As we said, Corbin, half of his starts during the year are quality starts. So he's going to give you that quality start every once in a while. Could he have one today? He sure can. He's beaten the Mets twice this year with a 4.63 ERA in the 2 starts. 3 runs, 6 innings. That's a 4.50 ERA. That's basically what you're going to expect out of Corbin. Quintana's had 1 bad start. That was against the best hitting team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. Other than that, guy's been dynamite. They got him to chase a World Series. He would have been their guy behind Scherzer, Verlander. Obviously not going to get that chance, so they're just playing out the string here. Mets, they won 3 of their last 4. Nats, as we said, not only swept 4 games by the Marlins, they've lost 5 straight. And the team that was hitting, just not hitting anymore. 3 runs a game, hitting 218. But they do hit 272 versus lefties. This game is right where I make it. Flip a coin for entertainment only.
And then we have Cardinals at Atlanta. Similar thing we have going on here as we did with the Dodgers. Definitely a little bit of a letdown here for the Braves, and maybe even more so because of the success they had there, taking 3 of 4 at LA. Then we have Cardinals, who come off losing 2 of 3 against Pittsburgh. Mikolas versus Soroka here. Mikolas bounced back quality start. Prior to that, 12 runs in 10 2/3. Gave up 5 runs against the Braves earlier this year. And Soroka, only a handful of starts this year, 6 starts. Braves are 4-2 in those 6 starts. Used as a spot starter. Had last full season was back in, 2019? Last full season for him. So this is a pitching edge that still goes to Mikolas. Over a spot starter here in Soroka, but they've had some success, 4-2 in the 6 outings so far this year. Tough to want to go against Atlanta at any point in time. They just don't seem to take their foot off the gas. I'm assuming at some point in the back end of September here, they're going to start giving these guys some days off, but we haven't seen that yet. Coming off an off day, I'm looking at the over here or nothing. It's really tough to put my money on St. Louis against the best team in baseball. Braves own them a bit, 6 of 8 meetings in Atlanta, all 3 so far this year in St. Louis. This is over or nothing for me. I'm staying away from the dog in this one.
Yeah, Soroka, as Ben said, 2019, the last full year. This guy was 13-4 with a 2.68 ERA. He was a pitcher. Only 9 outings since then. As Ben said, 6 this year. But he's just not the same pitcher anymore. Mikolas, decent start his last time out. You got an Atlanta team. I've talked about the Dodgers in no man's zone. Atlanta kind of there too. They've got a 4.5 game lead on Baltimore, the best record in baseball, 6 over the Dodgers. Hold a tiebreak over the Dodgers. Dodgers aren't catching them. Just you get to that play out the string. Games aren't as important, but can St. Louis overcome the ownership? Braves, they swept them 3 games at St. Louis this year, a combined 17-7. The numbers an overlay because the Braves are the best team in baseball. but Soroka just making a spot start here. Can't expect much from him. Would have to take the price or nobody. We'll see later on where this line goes.
We had the Giants at the Cubbies. Cubs get it done last night. Giants now 4-18. The last 22 road games. Can't back that trend. Cubs 7-3 the last 10, playing good ball right now. This is Walker versus Hendricks. Bullpen game again for San Francisco. Walker's he's going on a really solid stretch as an opener, as they were having success behind him last few, though, but getting roughed up, giving up a run of 3 of the 4. Hendricks, 3 of his last 4 starts, quality starts, 2.25 ERA. His best start this season was against the Giants. 1 hit, 8 shutout innings, and a win in June. Does have a bit worse numbers at home. Either way, though, 4-18 last 22 road games. That's a trend I can't back. Cubbies here are nothing. Would be looking a little bit more so to the under here. Hendricks been going solid. Neither team lighting the world on fire with their bats, but specifically San Francisco ice cold here. Under or nothing, and Cubs are nothing for me in this one.
Yeah, so Sharps, as we said, they buried San Fran yesterday with Webb. I didn't see the value in that against Steele, and they're burying the Giants again today, and I certainly don't see the value in a bullpen game with Walker. Giants now have been shut out back-to-back games. They've lost their last 4 games, scoring a total of 4 runs, 4-18 in their last 22 road games. They're in a battle for that last wild card. I don't think they're getting one here. To me, I lean to the Cubs, but the Sharps, they're all over San Fran in this one.
See where that number goes. And we have Rockies at D-backs. NL West battle here. Freeland versus Fat. D-backs get it done again last night. Makes it 9 of 11 meetings so far this season. All 5 in Arizona. Rockies, you guys know the story. 2-12 their last 14. Worst road team in the National League. And then as far as Arizona, they lose 3 straight at LA, and they're come back now 2-2 their last 4. Really trying to put it together here. Tied with the Reds currently for that final wild card spot. Freeland, I'm going to give him the pitching edge. Nothing too drastic, though. Last time out, destroyed by the Braves. Prior to that, had a quality start versus Baltimore. 2 starts for his D-backs this year, 8 runs in 11 2/3. And Fat, he was crushed by the Dodgers. 2 starts before that, 2 runs in 12 1/3. This is a Rockies team can't get it done on the road. Very similar to San Francisco. This is a D-backs team needing wins in the wild card race. Tough to go against those 2 things. I do not make this number this high. This is an overlay. Would be Rockies or nothing here. Maybe worth a look at the over with this pitching matchup. We could be due for some runs tonight.
Yeah, so we'll explain that overlay term again. And it's just the worst team, the worst road team in the National League. That's was their 29th in runs scored in road games. Out of it for months, basically April, playing against a team that needs wins. So they're going to make the price high because they know everybody's going to want to bet on Arizona. So it's an overlay. The price is a little high. That being said, for the reasons I just mentioned, I just don't want no part of the Rockies. They can't win on the road. They don't score on the road. Freeland, who had been much better a pitcher early in the year, crushed again. Yes, it was by the Braves, but he just hasn't been the same pitcher lately, and not even on the road. So I'll lay you off this one, even though it's an overlay.
The Phillies at San Diego. Phillies the winner last night. They've now won 10 of the last 12 meetings, 4-5 this season. This is a pitching matchup. It's pretty interesting. Lorenzen versus Avila. Lorenzen had the no-hitter. Since then, 1-1, 7.80 ERA. Is coming off a quality start. Gave up 4 runs, but 3 earned in 6 innings there against the Angels. Avila last 2 times out just annihilated. 11 runs, 6 earned, though, and 7 1/3. That's losses against San Francisco and Milwaukee. Pitching edge definitely goes to Lorenzen in this one. Weird game last night. Phillies big lead. Padres showing life throughout the game. Almost come all the way back. So you have that factor going here. And there's still a revenge factor from last season and the NLCS here a little bit. So do the Padres come back, kind of show up for the series still? What do we get here? Phillies, they're one of those teams a little bit in no man's land as far as where they're at in the wild card race. Definitely can't catch Atlanta in the division, and they do have some teams coming behind them, but pretty comfortable lead nonetheless. Would be a slight lean here to the Phillies for me. Lorenzen, does he get bounced back here against San Diego? Is this the team that gets him back on track? Few starts away now from the no-hitter. We saw that with Valdez as well. It took him a few starts back to get back in rhythm, get back in everything else. We'll see if that's the case. Phillies are nothing for me here, John.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Do the Padres still want to win? Do they still think they can win? Yesterday, they tried again for, I believe, what was it, Ben? We said 8th straight time, going for their 4th consecutive win and didn't get it done. Again, shops just keep betting them, and we'll just keep betting against them. Today, not so much. Game open, Padres minus 110. That's where it's sitting at right now. I'm still waiting. When do they run up the white flag? When does Soto, Machado, Boguts, when do these guys get a day off? So we'll see if that happens today. At minus 110, it's no bet for me if everybody's in the lineup. We'll see what happens later.
And then we have the Guardians and the Twins. Twins last night put up 20 runs at a 26 win. They now lead the Central by 6 games. Guardians had won the 8 of prior 10 meetings there in Cleveland. Mini 3-1 on the trip right now. Cleveland, they've dropped their last 2 since the 4-game win streak. Great pitching matchup. Gray versus Bibby. Gray, 30 in ERA. 7 of his last 8 starts, quality starts. Last 2, just 1 run in 14 innings, 9 Ks, 1 walk. One of those against Cleveland, one of those against Texas. Bibby, since July, 6-1, 2.34 ERA. Last time out versus the Twins, 2 runs in 5 innings and a win there. Great at home this season, 5-2, 2.02. The under on the season matchup is 8-3. Liked it yesterday, and they got absolutely obliterated. Coming back with it today with this pitching matchup. 2 pitchers going absolutely phenomenal right now. We'll see what happens here if the runs show up back after yesterday. Granted, some of those Minnesota runs that were tacked on the end were against Fry, so it was a position player, got added some extra runs there. But I still think it's worth a look at the under here, the way this matchup typically trends, this pitching matchup goes. And I could only want Cleveland here at Bibby at home. I said it yesterday. This is Guardians' last chance, and they got absolutely killed yesterday. Still imagine they're showing up for this game, but I like the under a bit more in this one.
So if you've been watching the podcast or you join us on Instagram, we've been calling for the heads of the Angels, Padres, and Cleveland GM's jobs. Going to put our phone number on the bottom. Give us a holler. So basically what Cleveland did was became sellers at the trade deadline. They moved Savali. He goes to Tampa Bay. Savali has a nice outing his last time out. He's been doing a good job for Tampa Bay. And they pick up Giolito on waivers. Let's read his line from yesterday. 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 9, 3 walks, 3 long balls. What are you doing? Why did they have a job? Other than that, the manager did a good job putting Fry in to pitch the last 4 innings, so they didn't burn out the bullpen. I look at these teams and like I said, how do these GMs have jobs? Anyway, Cleveland now, they fall to 6 games back after that beatdown yesterday. Here's the game. Do they have anything left, any respect, anything to come back after getting beat down like that in front of the hometown fans? Bibby's been real good at home. 2.02 ERA. Team's batting just a $194 at him, off him in Cleveland. It's going to be Cleveland and nobody. The move has been all Minnesota this morning. Game open minus 115 last night. Minnesota right now up to a 119 favorite. You just got to keep in mind, of course, these stats are skewed after last night's outburst, but Twins are already having a good road trip. Now, 3-1 on the road trip, averaging 9.75 runs per game, hitting 325. Again, they'll be skewed by last night's outbreak. But this game has only gone one way. We'll wait to see lineups and how much further the line goes. It was like the Philly game yesterday. It was Phillies and nobody. The move was all Padres. We knew we were going to bet the Phillies. We just wait to see how high the game is going to go. So here it is, Cleveland and nobody. Again, we'll wait to see the lineups and how high this line goes.
Then we have the Red Sox at Tampa Bay. Rays had dominated this matchup, 7 of 8 prior meetings, 13 straight in Tampa, but Boston ends up pulling it out yesterday. Verdugo didn't play, waiting to see what's going on with him. Then you have this Rays team. They've now dropped 3 of 4 after going 8-1 their prior 9. Crawford versus Eflin. Crawford, brutal his last time out against Houston, 6 runs in 2 2/3. Was solid his prior 2 starts and decent against the Rays this year. 2 outings, 2 runs in 6 innings. A lot better on the road, though. 6-3, 2.03 ERA. Eflin, 5 of 6 August starts, quality starts, 2.62 ERA. Coming off 6.1 shutouts versus Miami and better at home this season. Has had 2 really bad home starts in his last 4. Kind of inflated that ERA a little bit. Before that, just absolutely dominant at home. This is tough to go against that trend. And it was tough yesterday. Sharps absolutely killed the Red Sox number yesterday. They were all over going against that 13 straight trend. Do the Rays come back today and get it done? Would be a lean here to Boston. And I mean, ever so slightly, because I do not want to go against that trend. But numbers going up there. Crawford, he's, 2.06 road ERA. Then you look at Boston winning 3 straight, scoring over 7 a game. Bats heating up. This would be a lean here to the Red Sox. Just not going to buck that trend.
This game has had basically no movement at all. It opened 150 on the overnight, looking at 150 right now, and I make it 150. Right on the number. Eflin's been really good lately, been really good at home. Crawford, not so good lately, but has been good on the road. Tampa had owned this matchup prior to yesterday. Again, we saved ourselves a bet, waiting for the lineups. No Diaz in the lineup for Tampa Bay. We'll wait to see what the lineups look like today, especially that you got Verdugo questionable, but I think the number's right on the money. Look, we're coming to that time of year. Lines are tough. Plays are going to be less. We've got to have real edge to make a bet right now.
And you have Tigers at Yankees. Both teams playing pretty good right now. Tigers, they go ahead and they've won their last 4 after a 5-game losing streak. They sweep the White Sox. Yankees 7-3 trip. They sweep Houston. They won 3 of 4 at Detroit. Now 8 of the last 10 meetings against the Tigers, 6 straight in the Yankee Stadium. That's the only thing that makes it a little bit tough here because you feel there's a little bit of a letdown. Has to be after the Yankees sweep Houston, team who's owned them over the last several seasons. They finally get a sweep there at Houston, but it's Fado versus Cole. Big old pitching edge here for Garrett Cole. Last 2 starts, 3 earned and 13 2/3, 18 Ks, 2 walks, leads the league in 20 quality starts. Tough to go against that. Don't make the price this high, but Yankees are playing good ball right now. And I don't know what they're playing for. Pride to get above 500, 1 game below 500. Haven't had a year below 500 since when. So I guess that's the only thing to play for at this point in the season. 8 games out of it. No chance they climb that. This would be Tigers or nobody. Yankees letdown spot. Just tough to buck the ownership trend and tough to buck one of the best pitchers in baseball.
And that's in a nutshell. It's a ridiculous price. If you guys remember, we bet Detroit in the final game in the Detroit series, the Yankee-Detroit series, and took the W there, although they had to make that one interesting. Also, here, the really only thing that anyone's got anything going for is Cole. He wants to be the Cy Young winner. He needs some couple more good outings to cement that award away. So big pitching advantage for Cole. Can't be understated, but the price is ridiculous. Detroit Tigers are 500 on the road. They play better ball on the road than they've been playing at home. And Yankees coming off a huge series, that Sunday night game, sweeping the Astros, team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Everything says Tigers, except, like I said, Cole's huge pitching advantage going for that Cy Young. I don't think he'll fall asleep today, but Tigers are nobody.
Then we have White Sox at Kansas City. KC 12-1 win last night. Now 7 of the last 8 meetings in Kansas City, they have won. White Sox, they have now lost 4 straight, scoring just 5 runs. Robert, he's missed 3 of those games, leading them with the homers and ribbies. He's questionable. Got to see what's going on there. 27th on the road this year, 25-45. And then you have this Royals team, 2-5 in the homestand, but obviously getting it done here in the series, getting it done in this matchup. Cease versus Singer. Singer, first start since back end of August there with a paternity leave. Might have one of those dad strength starts today. We'll see what goes on there. Dylan Cease, 8.07 ERA in August, not looking like himself. Faced the Royals earlier this year, 7 runs in 5 innings back in May. That was a 12-5 loss. That is Cease in name only. And it's gotten to the point the books aren't even respecting him anymore. I mean, the fact that he's a road dog here against the worst team in baseball, pretty astonishing. Singer was going pretty well prior to the 2 starts, Seattle and Chicago. He's much better at home this season. 3.00 ERA in 5 outings, his first White Sox last year. KC or nobody. I don't want to lay the worst team in baseball as a favorite, but I might have to here against Cease. I give Singer the pitching edge. They own the matchup, playing decent ball in the homestand. Bats are alive right now. Royals or nobody.
I don't make this line this high unless Robert is out again. He's missed the last 3 games, and without him, they're just not scoring. Right now, they've scored 5 runs in their last 4 games total. So no Robert makes it a lot easier if you're thinking about KC. Just to touch on yesterday's game, if you were watching the podcast, so we actually got the info live. We already had Robert was going to be out. Bobby Witt would be out for KC. So we said, hey, your two best hitters on each team, both out, Robert and Witt. Only makes sense to bet on. Well, KC goes and puts a dozen runs on. This is why one of the reasons I don't mess around with totals in baseball. But seeing this game, again, KC, worst team in baseball now with that worst record. Their home record, 25-45, exactly what White Sox road record is, 25-45. Cease, he dominated KC last year, 3 starts with a 1.53 ERA. Smashed though this year. Game's right where it belongs. If Robert's out, if Robert's in, I think it's a little bit high.
Then we have Astros at Texas. Astros get swept by the Yankees. Come back yesterday, big 13-6 win. That's now 11 of the last 13 meetings in Texas, 4-5 this season. Third best road team in baseball. Rangers continuing to slide. Now in the final wild card spot after holding the first place in the West all season long, and they have Blue Jays at their heels, maybe ready to kick them out. They're now 1-7 last 8 home games, 4-13 last 17 overall. Valdez versus Eovaldi. Maybe Eovaldi can give them something here down the stretch. They absolutely need pitching in every worst way. Bullpen's not giving them anything, so they need these starters to go long. But that's the thing. First start back from the IL. How far is Eovaldi going to go? How much of a leash is he going to have? Valdez is coming off a pair of quality starts. And 2 starts for the Rangers this year, though. 11 runs, 7 earned, and 9 2/3. This is Houston or nobody. I mean, we're looking at the third best team on the road in baseball, going up against a team 4-13 their last 17, having all kinds of issues versus a pitcher coming off the IL. I understand what Texas was doing for the majority of this season, but they are just not that same team right now. This is Astros or nobody who are trying to compete with Seattle for the division, beating up on a team they own.
They own them. Valdez has looked back to being Valdez's last 2 starts. Last year, we used to call him Mr. Consistency, Mr. Quality Start. He had a little rough time surrounding that no-hitter, but looks like he's straightening things out. Eovaldi, first start back. Again, what can you expect from him? Texas not playing good. Not even playing good at home. Prior to this last run, they had the best home record in the American League. They've dropped 7 of their last 8 home games. They score the most runs at home of any team, over 6 runs per game. This is a different team. They are gagging. This is a joke job. Toronto right on their heels. Toronto gets the Oakland A's today, while Texas is going to fight their nemesis from Texas, the defending world champion Astros, who own them. It's Houston or nobody.
And we have Orioles at the Angels. Orioles get it done last night. 9-12 meetings they've now won. They've won 3 straight, 3-1 on this trip. And then you guys know AL best road team. Halos, just all kinds of issues that just keeps on getting worse. Murphy's Law going on right now in Anaheim. They've now lost 4 straight, 1-7 last 8. Ohtani, if it wasn't enough, he has the UCL injury, has something going on with the oblique now, so that's a big concern. Creamer versus Detmers, big as a pitching edge as it gets here. Creamer, the O's are 9-1 his last 10 starts, coming off a 2.37 August. Last 2 starts, 1 run in 12 innings. Detmers, 7.94 ERA in 5 starts in August. Last 2, 6 runs in 9 innings. This is Orioles or nobody. I mean, there was a point last night. This opening line was 145. Would have jumped all over that. I have to see what's going on here with Ohtani. This number's clearly gone higher now, and for good reason. I mean, this is just pitching edge, ownership, good road team versus a team who can't win. One of the worst teams in baseball right now. Since August, the worst team in baseball. So this is Orioles or nobody.
So you've got to believe Ohtani's not going to play. They've got him officially listed as questionable. But after this disaster with the UCL, how could they even chance letting him play at this point if he's got something wrong with the oblique? Again, you get something wrong with the oblique, guys, everything is in your talk while you're heading. Can't see him playing. Without him in the lineup, Orioles should be an 80-cent favorite with this pitching matchup. Red hot Orioles, Tampa Bay still on their heels. They haven't locked anything up yet, the Orioles. They need wins. Angels, they're in free fall. I'm not laying the number, but it's Orioles or nobody.
The Toronto at Oakland. Toronto gets it done in the 10th last night. They won 2 of 3 meetings. Toronto this year as well. Jays now 1-4-5. They're crushing 331, getting it done with the bats. Oakland, after the sweep against the Angels, they dropped this one here. Bassett versus Waldichuk. Bassett held Nats 3 hits, 8 shutout innings, and a win, but worse on the road this season, 6-4, 5.02. A's did give up 4 runs in 5 innings versus them earlier this season, team he used to play for. And then Waldichuk, last time out, 1 run in 4 innings, 3 Ks, 5 walks. Was supposed to go yesterday, ends up getting scratched there with Medina. This would be a lean here to Oakland. They were in that game last night. Anytime you have a dog losing it in extras, that's a live dog. So still playing good ball right now on this homestand. You look at Bassett's road numbers. You look at Bassett versus Oakland, a team he used to pitch for. Going to have a decent scouting report on him. A's are nobody here in this spot.
Yeah, for all the reasons Ben just said, Bassett not as good on the road. Oakland, they had won 3 games, swept the Angels. I don't know how much that's saying, but swept the Angels before giving Toronto all they could handle last night. And what I like is they battled back. Jays went out, got the lead. They chipped away, tied the game up, blow it in the 10th. The price could say only the home dog or nobody. But yes, Blue Jays, just a half game behind Texas now. They want to get these games 14-7, their last 21 on the road. Just keep in mind, 3 regulars out of the lineup. Bichette, Jensen, the catcher, and Chapman. Those are 3 big players out of their lineup. So they're not a full Blue Jay team. But it's got to be Oakland or nobody at this price.
Then we have Seattle at Cincy. Reds get it done last night, beat them 6-3. Mariners now lost 3 of 4. They're starting to slide down a little bit and tied in first place with Houston. Reds 3-2 on the homestand. Cincy tied with Arizona for the wild card. So 2 teams who need it right now. Seattle was playing much better baseball for the better half of the last month and a half. Obviously starting to have some regression here. We'll see how long that lasts. Miller, decent August, 3.86 ERA. Worse on the road. Debut for Phillips, and he has some gross numbers in the minors. On the season, not horrible, but just recently in August, he went 1-3, 7.64 ERA, 15 Ks, 13 walks. A lot of free base runners in the minors. That's a lot of runs to be given up there. Tough to be backing that here in a pitcher-friendly ballpark versus a team who needs wins for the division race with Houston. Would be Seattle or nothing here.
Yeah, Sharps, they buried Cincy and got the W yesterday, but they're burying them again today. I just can't see it. I didn't see it yesterday. Don't see it today. This kid, Phillips, again, he started the year at AA. So his stats are from AA and AAA combined. Miller, 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA in August. Not as good on the road. Here's a game Seattle wins. Now they're tied. Look, we've been saying it all along, guys. We were saying it when Texas had the lead. This is Houston's division, as it always is. They could fall out. They've got to get a W tonight at Cincy. They had a schedule where they were going to play the Mets, a sub-500 team. They lose 2 of 3, and then come into a depleted pitching team. Cincy just bringing guys up from the minors. Can't let that happen again. They got a guy yesterday that opened a game for them, Antone. Hadn't pitched in over a year, coming off Tommy John surgery. Mariners not hitting. They were on fire. They've slowed down. Big game for them. The price was an overlay, but there's no way I want a pitcher that started his year at AA and has bad stats coming up in the middle of a pennant race. Not when Seattle needs the game.
That's this Tuesday card, guys. Like we said yesterday we didn't have any bets early on in the day, and we were just waiting to see where some of these lines go. Having lineups, Phillies ended up getting a bet at a good price. Sharps kept betting San Diego. Something similar is going to be happening today. We're waiting for lineups, waiting for line movements. If you guys want those bets as they get added, howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. John, a couple days away from NFL. Good way to start the week with the winner last night. How do you want to wrap this up?
Well, Thursday, we're going to be back on to do a little NFL preview. I'll be posting Thursday's NFL preview on the website. That'll go up as soon as I get off this podcast. And then, as Ben said, when Thursday night games kick off, that's when we'll have the rest of the weekend previews up. So, unfortunately, if you're not a VIP member, you're going to wait till Thursday night after kickoff to get any bets that we've made between Monday and Thursday. VIP is going to get them as soon as we make that bet. We'll do the preview Thursday. Still mix in a little baseball each day. And, hey, we get the week started on a real good note, like I said. not just with the one winner, but with the games that we could have made bad bets on. This is what discipline's all about. And that's why I'll say the same thing. I've had many times we catch a winner at the 1 o'clock, we catch a winner at the 4 o'clock, and I'm sitting out the night game, and guys are, well, who you like? Well, who we bet? And I don't know. I don't like anybody. So you take your money, you take your profits, and then we live to fight another day. But we're back tomorrow and then back Thursday with the NFL preview.
We're 2 days away from the NFL season, guys. That pick'em pool, the link will start being sent out to members today. If you guys want to be a part of that, you guys go sign up on the website or the app as well, and we'll get that out to you. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let's make some money, John.